For today's Cyber CEO episode,
when I hired Winston, I was able to focus on my 20% a lot more. And so my 20% when I hired Winston now becomes 100 for me. Now I have a 20% of that and I'm able to leverage even more off with more cyberbackers and grow our business and spend lots of time doing other things with family and other businesses that we worked into. What was really great is that he came fully trained on how to use the system. He does so much, and still with all of that, he comes to me and her every day and he'll say, hey, just letting you guys know, I'm on top of things today. I'm speeding along. What else do you have that I can help you with? He still does that. The great thing is we have hired a couple of other cyberbackers. One thing I love about Winston is that he also manages those guys for us. You know, we all communicate well. We smile a lot. We have a good time. I do feel like we are all one big family, not just with those guys, but with Cyberbacker in general. It's really amazing that when we hire a cyberbacker, we get the whole company. It's been a true partnership of leverage. And it's transformed our life and our business, both of ours.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have very special guests on the show right now. Chris, Michelle, how are you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
Doing fantastic.
There we go. First off, we'd like to thank you for your time. I know you're very, very busy. Now, to kick things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners just like you. So I need your help here. Can you introduce yourselves to our audience? Maybe starting off with, what are your roles in the business?
Sure. I'm Chris. I have been selling real estate for 24 years. I was a single agent for a very long time. I've built teams before and it didn't work out so well in the past. So mostly I was a single agent, but I do very, very well. About a year ago, Michelle joined the team. She's now my director of operations. She also works a lot of the buyers, a lot of the lead gen, a lot of the client facing side of things. And I mostly do most of the seller side of things as well as the rainmaker running the team also with her. But she's really the director of ops. But anyway, Michelle.
I am Michelle, and basically what he said.
There we go. So both of you have already a lot of experience in terms of real estate, right?
Yes, for sure. Even though she wasn't full-time in the business, she's side by side as my wife and partner for the last 8 years. So she's seen real estate firsthand and knows it inside and out before ever joining. And I, of course, have done it 24 years.
I got my license about a year ago.
Oh, wow. So really a lot of experience between the both of you.
Yes.
Now, I'm really curious to know as well, how long have you been with Cyberbacker, by the way?
About 3 years now.
3 years. Before you got partnered with Cyberbacker, did you ever have experience working with other virtual team members, or did you have experience before us?
Yeah, not virtual team members. We have. So again, I have built a team or two. I tried twice in the past and failed both times. And hiring that first assistant was very challenging for me. You think you hire the right person. I even went through the CV process with Keller-Williams, and somehow I must have messed up. It just didn't work out. And, let that person go. Cost a lot of time and money and effort, and it still didn't work out.
There you go. Now, again, it really takes a lot of time when you go through all of the interviews, reviewing all the resumes, things like that, right?
It does. It's very, very time consuming. Plus, when for me, the biggest part isn't just all of that. It's after I do hire somebody has to train that person.
Yeah,
and so I'm sitting side by side training that person for a week or two, at the very least, on my systems and the systems that we use. And it takes me out of the business. I can't be doing what I do.
That's true, because actually, if you think about it, training someone is already a full-time job in itself, right?
It is.
Right
it is.
There.
Very.
Now, you've been with Cyberbacker, by the way, for a long time now. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. What was the first let's say, a thought that came to your mind when you first heard that word or that name, Cyberbacker?
Yeah, so I was introduced to the concept of a cyberbacker almost two people within the same week. I went to a real estate convention, and I heard one of the speakers say, who had been in the business many, many, many years, very well-known guy, Gene Rivers. He said, if I had to do over again, I would hire in fact, it was a mastermind real estate conference. And he said, if I had it to do over again, you guys, if I were you guys in your shoes, I would simply hire a cyberbacker and have them make calls all day long, because now you have two people doing the lead gen. He said,
Yes.
I mean, it's almost impossible to fail, and it's so worth it money wise. Why wouldn't you do that?
There you go. So really,
And then my real estate coach the same week, 2 or 3 days later, had no idea that I had even heard that. I just heard it and filed it, and she said, Chris, you're doing everything in the business. You're going crazy. You have no family time. You're not able to scale whatsoever. You need to hire an admin. I said, well, I've done that in the past, and I failed at it. And she said, yeah, but maybe you need to try Cyberbacker. And I said, well, okay, so tell me what Cyberbacker is. And so from there, my MAPS coach is the one who urged me to leverage the things that are not my 20%, and are holding me back. We're holding me back from doubling my income. At the same time, it gave me more time to spend with my family. So she encouraged that. And that's how I found out, is through my Cyberbacker coach.
There you go. So more time with the family once you leverage, of course, to a cyberbacker. Now, you already mentioned that you did try to build your own team, but not virtually. So how was the transition, of course, from doing everything on your own, working with people in the office, to now having to work with someone virtually, your cyberbackers?
Oh, that was a piece of cake, I feel. I mean, we all live in a day and age where technology is, so it's transformed our lives. And for me, working virtually and across the Zoom has been great. So, I mean, as far as working with someone virtually, it's been absolutely fine.
All right. How about for you, Michelle? Was this your first time too working with someone virtual?
Yes, it was.
All right. Did you have any expectations before getting into a partnership just like this?
No, Chris already had the Cyberbacker when I joined last year. So I kind of just jumped on in, knowing Winston over Zoom for so many years. So it was very simple for me to just join in.
I didn't have any expectations when I hired Winston. I had some, some cynicism, right? Some doubts.
Yes.
I really did. Again, because I had hired in-person admins who I vetted very well, had been in the business before, and they completely let me down. And so my fear was, if someone is going to sit in an office with me and let me down, then someone who's not sitting next to me, and I can't really see, how in the world will they, do their job every day? I mean, I don't know. I guess I just had a bad experience before, and I felt like that would, be worse with a virtual admin. But again, through my coach, through someone else who's, been there and done that, saying, this is what you should try it. I tried it, and it's been pretty amazing.
There we go. That's good news to us, of course. Pretty amazing experience so far. Now, talking about your cyberbackers, what were the things that you needed help with before you got partnered with Cyberbacker? What was on that give up list, the set of tasks that you were going to be leveraging to your cyberbacker?
Sure. So at the time, I needed help with transaction management more than anything. I was, selling about 40 to 50 homes a year by myself, no one else helping. So transaction management, it was what was bogging me down. I do very well in person, speaking with people. I'm the relationship guy. That's what that's what we do, right? That's our most important job. So transaction management, both from a listing management perspective and a contract to close perspective. I also needed help with systems, in developing those systems, great follow-up campaigns to stay top of mind with clients. It's really hard to do the 80% of stuff that you need to do to run a business, and still have time to do the 20% of stuff you need to do, like showings, listing appointments, open houses, database calls, spend time with your family. I mean, oh my gosh,
there you go.
That's a priority. So yeah.
There's only a little 24 hours in a day, and sometimes that's not even enough to finish everything, right?
No.
Right.
So now I'd like to know that 20%, is that what you're focusing on now? 80% is on your cyberbackers then?
Right. So it's funny. Life is funny. When I hired Winston, I was able to focus on my 20% a lot more. And then, I was focusing on my 20%. He's doing my 80 very, very, very quickly. And now my 20% becomes the 100% of the things I do. And eventually our team grew where out of that 20% I'm now doing, my 20% of that was much smaller and I needed someone else. So we hired another cyberbacker. Social media is extremely important. We're both very active. We're born and raised where we live. We have lots of Facebook friends and pretty solid relationships, but we were finding that we're missing out on the social media side of things. So, we just recently had a social media backer who is, they're tasked with growing our presence on social media, and it's working. Literally just yesterday, we got, we've had several things happen, but again, just yesterday, organically, someone reached out and said, "Hey, we're interested in selling and buying. We saw a post about a program you're doing on Facebook a couple of weeks back, and we really would like some information on it." That would never happen had we not had a social media backer. Yeah. So it's very interesting. 80-20 is a very interesting concept that I love and follow to a T. And so my 20% when I hired Winston now becomes 100 for me. And then
another 20%.
Now I have a 20% of that, and I'm able to leverage even more off with more cyberbackers and grow our business and spend lots of time doing other things with family and other businesses that we work into.
And of course, again, just not just working out in the business, but working to grow it, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. Now, you talked about your cyberbackers, but before you got partnered with them, you went through the hiring process with us, of course. Now, I'd like to know more about your experience there and how did you know that your cyberbackers today were the perfect fit for what you needed in the business?
Sure. The process was great. It was very easy. It was professional. The most exciting part of the process was definitely getting all of the personality sheets, the resumes, the intro videos before the interview ever began, being able to dive right in with the speed round interviews. That was truly awesome as far as the hiring process goes. Again, I've done the whole process myself before, and I explained what I needed to you guys. A few days later, we have some candidates. When can we interview them? And we sit down and boom, they have everything that I would ever expect if I were to, and more if I were to try and go find someone on my own. If you ever hire anybody who's ever hired on their own, alone, just that part of it alone, all of the stuff that you guys did before the first interview started is worth thousands of dollars. Just in time spent, much less on the systems and tools you use to get that, the personality assessments, how do you fit in real estate, speaking with the candidates, doing that vetting process. It's just, it's a lot of money. I didn't have to advertise. I didn't have to sift through hundreds and thousands of resumes in certain cases. I didn't have to order those tests. I didn't have to waste time on people who weren't qualified whatsoever. So what excited me about that right from the beginning is that I was able to sit down, interview a very small pool of candidates who are already qualified very quickly with very little time into the process at that point.
Yes, again there, because Cyberbacker already got those covered. Finding the best people, finding the best candidates, of course, for you to choose from and to partner with, of course. Now, right after that partnering process here in Cyberbacker, they would go through training and the difficult part kicks in. Building on the successful partnership, working with each other. So you've already built a successful partnership with your cyberbackers. We'd like to know, do you have any tips that you can give out to our listeners on how to have a successful partnership with their cyberbackers?
Yeah, sure. So the training was amazing. First of all, again, I didn't know what to expect, and I was excited about the process already. And then I hired Winston, and then they said, "Look, we'll see you in 2 weeks." 2.5, 3 weeks. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And they had already, said, listen, every system you use that's on a computer, phone, whatever, your system, send us a list of what that is. And then they kind of went 3 deep on that. So they said, okay, we've got all your systems. What else do you use? What did you forget? What did you leave off? And I thought that was great. And so at the end of the day, I give them every system I use. And I use a lot of different systems. I'm kind of a techie. So I use things that most agents don't just plop in and use at that level. What was really great is that he came fully trained on how to use the systems, right? So we'll start with Gmail and Calendar and Google, Sheets and Docs and all of that. All my CRM at the time I was using LionDesk. Now I've gone into 2 or 3 other CRMs, and he's been trained on those too. So that's one thing that's been great. As I learn a new tool or go into a different system or find a better system, he has the ability to go back to you guys. I simply say, hey, Winston, I want to use this. Can you go get some training on that? He'll go get the training and vet it out before I ever buy it and say, yeah, this is not something we need or something we do. He actually runs the back end of our company at this point, of our business. So tips. You asked if I have tips on, for other people. So here's the tip I would say. From the very beginning, all you really need to do is have great communication. Be transparent and have great communication. So transparent communication would be my biggest tip. I've always been that way. I have no problem telling people how I feel. And from the very beginning, I simply said to Winston, look, don't ever feel afraid to speak up about something you think you can do better. Don't ever feel afraid to speak up and tell me I'm doing something wrong and that, I need to fix, and I told him, look, I just say things like they are. Sometimes I don't put a lot of, excuse me, I want to say this to you in front of it. I'll just say what I want to say. And I said, please don't ever be offended at that. So communication has been the key in Winston and our relationship. To this day, he has no problem saying, Chris, you said you were going to get this for me and you haven't. And I can't do my job unless you get that for me. So I need you to hold true on your commitment to me to get this taken care of. He holds our feet to the fire. So communication. As far as the training side of things, one kind of insight I'll give anyone hiring a cyberbacker is this. Yes, Winston came fully trained, and I said earlier, and I'll say it again, on the system. However, that's about 95% of where you would want someone trained. No matter what, everybody's not going to come, doing, and using Google, Gmail and Google Calendars and CRMs exactly how I use them. So there is a little bit, and you have to understand that. It's not like they're going to sit down and know the inside of my mind of my business. Again, I didn't go into this with a huge set of expectations, but I was blown away by how much training he did have. So I didn't have to say, go here, click this. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. I need you to. All I had to do was tell him how I use the system. And that was refreshing. So he comes in and I say, this is how I use my CRM in this area. I want you to take that over. What questions do you have? And then understand there's still a little bit of training, but it's not intense. It's not side-by-side training for 2 or 3 weeks at a time where you're out of your business. It's, okay, here's what I do. You go try and do it. And if you have any questions, let me know. And then he would let me know. And I'd say, okay, I think you need more training in this. Go get it. And he'd go get it. But most of the time it was how I use it. So we would just have conversations throughout the day. It's been great.
Really, communication is the key part, of course, for this to be able to become a successful partnership. Now, I have one last question for both of you, and I'm going to put you in the hot seat here. So I know that all of your cyberbackers are going to be listening once we have this episode uploaded. So I'd like to know, what is the best part about each of your cyberbackers? If you could just give us one for each cyberbacker.
Sure.
Well, Winston has been with us for several years, 3 years, and we've gotten to know Winston, his wife, JoJo, their kids. We see them on, Zoom, or we ask how everybody's doing. And so it's family. They're family to us. And, at some point I would love to really just meet them in person and, have dinner and drinks and, just talk to them like, you would your normal family that lives, down the street from us. So family is big for us. So.
Yeah. So for me, Winston, one thing I love about Winston. So from the very, very beginning, I mean, the first day that he sat with us, with me, probably the very first time he and I were talking together on Zoom after his training, right? The first meeting, let's just meet each other, talk about some things. One of the things he said to me was, "Hey, Chris, what can I take off your plate?" Right. So tell me what I can take off your plate, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do, is very passionate about that. And to this day, literally every day, he's got our systems down. He does 100% of our transaction management from contract to close. He puts our contracts together. Of course, I have to review them and send them off. He manages all of our MLS input, all of our showings. He does so much, and still with all of that, he comes to me and her every day, and he'll say, just letting you guys know, I'm on top of things today. I'm speeding along. What else do you have that I can help you with? Wow. What can I help you with? He still does that. The great thing is we have hired a couple of other cyberbackers, and I'll tell you the things I love about those in a second. But one thing I love about Winston is that he also manages those guys for us, and not from a supervisory role, like you need to do this, you need to do that, but from a help role, from a giving role. He's always checking in on them for us, because he knows how our team is run. And he says, "Hey, Paul, who is our social media guy, you're working on this stuff. If you need any help, let me know." And often Paul and him will collaborate on, what's the best way to present this or that for the team. Team Thompson. And then we have an ISA. His name is Nash. He's also amazing. He's always on the phones, always dialing with a happy face. He's always willing. He never gives up on the phone. They're all just absolutely, we all communicate well. We smile a lot. We have a good time. And yes, I do feel like we are all one big family, not just with those guys, but with Cyberbacker in general. Yeah. So you asked about our Cyberbacker specifically, but I'll tell you, it's really interesting. 3 years in now, we still get calls every week or two from someone else at Cyberbacker asking, "Hey, how's Winston doing? How's Paul doing? How's Nash doing? Do you need any help any other way? Is there anything about our service you don't like? Is there any way we can improve it? What can we do better to help support you?" So it's really amazing that when we hire a cyberbacker, we get the whole company, not just one person, and they're gone, right? Like you didn't just say, "Hey, take Winston and see you later, guy. Give us your money." That's not at all what it's been. It's been a true partnership of leverage, and it's transformed our life and our business, both of ours.
Yes.
There we go. Because again, as what you mentioned, once you partner with Cyberbacker, you're not just getting one person. You're getting the whole team. You're getting the whole company. Again, because we are here as your partner for growth, of course, for your business as well. Now, Chris, Michelle, it's been a great experience talking to you guys on the episode today. And I hope this isn't the last time that we get to do this. We are very, very excited to see where this partnership, of course, grows to many more years to come. Again, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.